Yo, yo, yo. What up, peoples? Oh, yees. Oh, yees. It's time. Good morning, good day. I hope everybody had a great weekend, man. Happy Monday, I hope. I know it's never fun, man. Or not for most people, anyways. Transitioning out of the weekend and into the beginning of the week. So I hope that it was a great weekend. I hope it's starting well. You know, whatever time it is for you. We got video gaming news for today, January 22nd, and then it'll be time to dive into day 2 of Pal World. We just got a real quick taste of it yesterday. Actually, dude, this should be day 3. Day 3. My title's flipping wrong, dude. My title's wrong. It should be day 3. Boop. I was thinking about the fact we only did one day on the public server, but we actually did one day on like a, one that I hosted as well. So this should be day 3. All together, about 3 days. This will be day 3 of it. My bad. But the game's cool. I wonder if they got the server stuff fixed. We'll take a look. This game is popping off, dude. It's been a big success already so far. And there are some questions about the artwork behind this game and stuff, and we're gonna have to pay attention and see how this comes to light moving forward with how they've developed this game. Has it been done with unethical AI integration, or has it been done with ethical AI integration? Has it been done with no AI integration? But we're gonna have to pay attention moving forward and see what comes out about how Pal World was developed. But so far, I'm loving this game. It's been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to play more of it today, man. So let's go ahead and do what we do, man. Let's dive into video gaming news for this morning, and then we'll go play some games. Cool? Let's go. Valve made $1 billion from CS cases last year. God dang, dude. That's crazy. Those loot boxes, dude. The Gamba is real, dude. People love the Gamba. Yeah. Five video game trilogies in need of a remaster. Let's take a quick peek, man. Come on in, my friend. Have a seat. What's up, buddy? What's up, Ferret? Yo, Pal World's over 5 million copies now. Man. Yo, bro. What it do, man? What's the day got in store, man? Just work? We've got that up. Got that up. Let's take a look real quick. Let's see where we are concurrently. Right now, there are 1.245 million concurrent players on Steam playing Pal World. Just cold this morning? Yeah. That's pretty crazy, dude. Pretty crazy. We'll keep this up while we talk about the Pal World stuff. It's actually starting to warm up a little bit for us. Unfortunately, we have some we have a ton of snow on the ground. Now the weather's warming up, so the snow's potentially going to melt, and we got like a bunch of showers coming in too. So there's going to be the potential for flooding and stuff from what my wife was saying. I haven't really looked into it yet, but It's, yeah, dude. Starting tomorrow. Well, actually, late tonight. So the temperature's just getting above freezing. There's a ton of snow on the ground, and then we've got just heavy precipitation coming in. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. See how it goes. Yeah, Power World has exploded, dude. Yeah, pretty crazy. Power World developer warns of game-breaking bug to avoid. I don't know how Pokemon didn't, go this route a long time ago of fleshing this kind of idea out. They had the potential to do it. They had the resources to do it. You know what I mean? Like, they just didn't want to evolve what those games have traditionally been in large part. And they could have. I don't understand. A lot of people had been looking for them to expand that universe for a long time. In the gaming world, into something more immersive and fleshed out. They just didn't. I mean, Arceus was more, but it wasn't anything close to like what Power World is, I wonder what had kept them from doing that kind of thing. Just too stuck in wanting to be traditionally what they've always been? I don't know. What up, Soup? What's going on, buddy? What it do, bro? Dude, I need to remember who all I still owe gifts, like gift subs to for rando mote. I know there's like one or two more people I still owe rando motes to. There was a lot of people that won. I already got Trues. I got Soups. Who else was there? I think I got Vaults. Who else did I owe, dude? Everybody's gonna be like, me. I'm gonna have to start making a list, dude. Did you ferret? Jesus, I'm getting lost in everybody. I got you then. Yeah. I'm gonna have to start making a list, dude. Now that I like upped the You'll have to remind me whenever your sub's out, dude, and I'll get you. I knew there was like one or two more people that I still owed. Now that I've changed it to where if people match, dude, it's getting a little bit easier. Yeah. Just remind me whenever your sub runs out, dude, and I got you, dude. You just got to remind me. Six days? Yeah. I won't remember 6 days from now. You'll have to remind me that day. You'll have to be like, yo, the sub's out, dude. Need my rando gifty, dude. But I got you, dude. I got you. Yeah. I knew there was somebody. I just couldn't remember who it was, man. Sorry. List of usernames come up with for school. What? Oh, because of all the access and stuff you need? Yeah. Right, yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, I don't understand the exact extent of your issue, to be honest, Soup. But you have to have like a bunch of different usernames for different platforms, or what? I mean, it's kind of a vague thing to help with. I don't know the exact issue that you're dealing with, other than it looks like you've got a lot of. Oh, yeah. I'm kind of, yeah. That makes me recall it a bit there, Ferret. Yeah, nice, dude. Okay, yeah. Well, obviously the lesson in the IT world that IT professionals try to teach people all the time that nobody really takes to heart is that you should be changing your usernames from time to time. You should have fairly the key to it is to have usernames that can't be really traced to anything that pertains to you in any kind of private nature or whatever. It shouldn't have anything to do with your name or your birth date or your pets' names or the street you live on or anything like that. You know what I mean? So the best thing that I can tell people to do is make usernames, have a few different usernames that have some kind of meaning to you outside of being a personal thing that people would be able to find out very easily. You know what I mean? You make up usernames and then you can mix and match them together, put them together, switch them. You know what I mean? Like if you have like 4 or 5 different usernames that again should not have anything to do with you personally on a level of like address or anything to do with your names and stuff, then Right. Then there's the password issues of that kind of stuff. Ferret, right? But usernames, oh my God, never write anything down. That's the other thing too. Yeah, God, I hate that. There's so many people I've gone to, and it's like on a post-it note on their flipping monitor, or it's on a post-it note on their keyboard, or it's even underneath their keyboard. Like nobody's gonna find that. It's like, dude, you're not tricky. You know what I mean? Like, that's stupid, man. But that's what I tell people. Come up with about 4 or 5 different usernames that you can use that people are not going to be able to find out easily about yourself. Obviously, if any of those get compromised, you need to not use them anymore. But you can use them singularly. You can use them combined. You can use them, by altering the sequence in which they are combined, like switching them, and stuff like that. So digital notes are still not good, dude. They're still not good. What if somebody like maliciously gets into your PC or something, and they go, oh, what's this document? And they're like, oh, this says this is this username and password for this account that they have. And then they just go log in, and then they just go get a bunch of information off of you. I mean, if it's encrypted and stuff, that's a little bit safer, but it's still not a great thing to do. Are you encrypting those notes? Because most people don't even know what encrypting is, man. That's still half of the equation, though. You're still providing half of the equation there. You need to remember them, dude. And they need to be in your head, man. But I know that's not always easy for everybody. So, the safest way you can go about documenting them, I guess, is the best thing you can do. So, I guess better than writing them down on a sticky and sticking them to your monitor or whatever, I guess, dude. What if it's two-factor authentication? What do you mean, what if it's two-factor authentication? That shouldn't be a big deal. Doesn't really have anything to do with it. Because two-factor authentication is just something that you're going to have as well, whether it be like, you know, something that can be a text message to you. It can be, you know, something you have like a card reader, you know, for a card that goes in a card reader. It could be a biometric, you know, thumbprint. It could be an iris reader. It could be anything like that. You're still going to have, usually with two-factor, the first part of it's still going to be logging in with some kind of username and password, but the second part of it is is going to be something it's going to, what is two-factor is like something you know, something you have, or something you are, right? Isn't that what two-factor is? Oh, yo, that's smart, Ferret, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah, that's so stupid. Yeah, that's so stupid, Soup. Yeah. But that's, I mean, that's the world we live in, dude. That's why so many people are like, oh, man, I got hacked. I don't know how I got hacked. But people are stupid about the way they secure their info, secure their accounts and stuff. You know, it's they're ignorant about it, really, is what it comes down to. They're not educated on why it's important to go to greater lengths to secure your accounts and to use more secure methods of more difficult usernames, more difficult passwords, things of that nature, using two-factor authentication, right? And that's something I try to teach my family. I try to teach my kids. You know, I've maintained any accounts for my kids and everything. I've maintained that stuff myself up to this point. My kids are getting older, and I'm trying to impart that wisdom onto my children, because, dude, as much of a technological world that I live in right now, their world is going to be just incredibly enmeshed with everything is going to be just tech, right? So I don't know, it's all about the best thing you can do for yourself is protect yourself, right? There are always going to be malicious people out there. They're going to try to find ways to get your info and get into your accounts and things like that. And there's no way, I mean, you can't totally avoid it. There's a lot of really smart people out there, and, you know, if they really want to gain access to some of your stuff, they'll find a way. But most people are not going to go after the accounts that are secured moderately to significantly. Most of the malicious people out there don't want to take the time to dive into the accounts that are secured to a high level, because that takes time and effort. Most of the malicious actors out there want to go for the low level, you know, the stuff that hasn't been secured very well, because it's much easier. You know, it doesn't take as much time or effort to get into. So if you're doing your job by protecting your stuff to a moderate, significant kind of level, usually that's enough of a deterrent right there to keep people away, you know? Oh, yeah, dude, Ferret, you're right. Yeah, and it's been that way for quite some time now, too. Yeah, you know, we see it all the time, even in the gaming industry, where the hacks happen and then it's like ransom, you know, they're like try to ransom the data and everything. It's a wild world that we live in now. You know, most of the wars that are being fought, you know, in whether it be between hackers and corporations or between governments or what have you, it's a cyber war, man. It's a cyber war. People have always associated the word war with a physical battlefield. That's not where most of it's happening anymore, you know. I know Ferret knows this, but a lot of people think, they hear the word war and they think, you know, tanks and weapons, you know, of you know, like, you know, IBMs and stuff like that, you know, what are rockets and whatever, helicopters. But that's not really where the war is anymore. I mean, it still plays out like that quite often, but most of the time war is being fought in a cyberspace, dude. That's where it's happening. We vibing this morning. We vibing. Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. Bro, I'll tell you, dude, some of the stuff I've seen, I've been absolutely blown away by how just archaic it is. And we're talking information that you definitely, information highways for that these entities and companies and stuff definitely would not want other outside sources getting their hands on. Could be detrimental, and the systems, the infrastructure set up and everything is archaic, old. No kind of redundancy on it. Like, it's like, wow, dude. Blew my mind. It was like, what is happening, dude? Why are we right? Like, why is this like this? It's like, god dang. Interesting. Crown Wars, the Black Prince preview. Let's see what this is. Howl, huh? Let's look at that as well. PlayStation rumor reveals next 5 PS5 games coming to PC. We'll take a quick glance and see if we can get anything worthwhile information-wise out of that. Pal World jumps into history by becoming the most played game on Steam, dude. Insane. We've talked about all the Indiana Jones stuff enough. Cybeaver? Is that really? Cybeaver. Joins Unreal Engine to transform game development? Okay. Cybeaver. Cybever? I'm gonna call him Cybeaver, dude. I don't care. Bro, how many copies has Starfield sold right now? Starfield, excuse me. Why are all these articles so flippin' old, dude? This is just September, man. I want to know how many they've sold too, not just. All right, Soup. Ferrari, Dad. Oh, Jesus, dude. Okay. Love that. Love that. One second, guys. Okay. That works. Well, I can't really tell. But I mean, you know, can you imagine like being Bethesda, dude? Because I doubt they've, you know, they sold a lot of Starfield. They did sell a lot of Starfield. But can you imagine a company like Bethesda sitting there going, you know, looking at what Starfield was and how long they took to develop it, how much time it took to develop it, how many resources and you know what the budget was to develop something like Starfield, and they were talking about like how this is like supposed to be the best Bethesda game they've ever made to this point. It was their passion project, and then it gets obliterated by something like Palworld, you know? Oh, Terraria is 44 million. That doesn't even surprise me. By 2022, that's not even over the past year. So, or that's by 2022. So that'd be the past 2 years. We don't even know, really. I wonder if Wikipedia's got Starfield numbers. One second, guys. All right, sorry. This is the weirdest thing about Starfield, though. Look at Starfield's critic reviews, which is not even close to what users have reviewed this game as. That's always a concerning thing for me. 86 on PC, 83 on Xbox, 85 OpenCritic. Users have this reviewed at a high 60 on like Steam, you know? And I think Metacritic was kind of close to that too. Low 70s maybe, something like that. High 60s. 69 out of 100, Kappa. You know? This is always something weird for me to see. You know, you've got This feels skewed towards a large company for critic reviews, unfortunately. You know, that's a weird look. This is right on par with Steam too. The user reviews here, rating wise, right on par with Steam, dude. But then all these other outlets are like rating this as like an awesome, awesome game. Didn't really say anything about sales, so I don't know. I'm thinking that is of all time, though. Well, yeah. What else would it be? But I mean, you know, I just meant that, like, if what you're referring to, all I meant was like 44 million copies retail by 2022 would mean that by 2022 would mean that basically those numbers weren't calculating any retail versions sold over the entirety of 2022 or last year as well, right? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, cool. We were just like, I think, lost in translation a little bit there. So it's probably even higher than that now, I think. Yeah, probably. Which is incredible. What is Terraria even retail at? Like 20 bucks? 10 bucks? $10? It's a good chunk of change right there, dude. Or a solid flipping game too, man. I mean, you know, that's one of those examples I need to be using more for, you know, a good developer making a game at a nice price point that you get a lot of game time out of. Doing things the right way, you know, continually adding content, not charging DLC and stuff like that, you know. Ferrari's retail at $1 million, and then they degrade on price significantly immediately off of the showroom floor. Vehicles are actually a terrible thing to quite often invest in. We jamming. Oh, okay. Oh, nice, dude. Nice. Yeah. That's a lot of flipping retail sales, dude. That's dope. Good for them. Love to see it, man. Love to see it. One second. All right. 30 username combos in this one schizo hours. As long as you can remember the ones you're using, where you're using them at, dude. That's what matters. Yep. Project Downfall. What is this? Okay, if it'll load. Everything's about Pal World, dude. Yo, AGDQ finishes with over $2.51 million raised for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. That's awesome, dude. Very nice. Very nice. Love to hear it. This is not going to come up, so cool. Look, I think Capcom's starting to hurt themselves. All right, sorry, I shouldn't have to get up again. Right on, Ferret. Good to know, man. You know, last year, to an extent, before Exoprimal released, I had continued to promote Capcom as one of the better AAA studios out there. And of the time that has passed since Exoprimal released, I have become more and more critical of Capcom. They released Exoprimal, which felt like an absolute scumfest. That was really, really gross to see. They came out with Exoprimal being, you could play it on subscription service, but it was also a AAA price tag game with just riddled with monetization. And the gameplay was stale. It got so old so fast. They just tried to monetize, like come up with some gameplay element that they could monetize the crap out of. Put a bunch of their Street Fighter skins in it. You know, things like Battle Pass, bunch of cosmetics, everything costs money, you know. It was really, really gross. Then, after that, their CEO comes out with a statement saying, we need to increase the price of games retail again. You know, I've got that on our YouTube channel somewhere where we discussed that, came across that that quote and discussed that. But so not only is it, I'll be steadfast in my sentiment that we haven't needed to raise the price of retail games in the industry for quite some time, because most of these developers are getting what they need out of us through other monetary means and you know, incorporations for games. But then they come out, you know, Capcom's CEO comes out and says that now we've got, most recently, Capcom is destroying their fan base by, you know, incorporating their own DRM integrations with all of their IPs. And it's really all their own fault. They're trying to blame, like, the modding community behind it, you know? Right. Yeah, exactly. Fair. Yeah, you know, they wanted to blame the modding community for what, you know, went down with nude Chun-Li and everything, when really, I mean, they're the ones that have been promoting a more provocative and risque kind of characters in their content forever, ever. And just because somebody finally modded these characters to not have any clothing on, they're like, oh, well, we can't stand for this, you know, and then they just start putting their own DRM stuff all over their product, you know, and shutting everything down. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yep, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's really gross. And so Capcom showing strong IP and high growth industry. A large part of that's going to be due to their release of Street Fighter 6, because that was big for them. They still push out good content, you know. I think in the current state of the AAA side of the industry, we deal so often with content that doesn't meet the expectations of what's pressed upon us with marketing ploys and things like that, or games get released that are just solely unfinished and feel terrible to play. And so on those fronts, I think Capcom still does a good job, but the things that we're seeing Capcom do leads me to believe that the quality on those fronts is probably going to degrade sometime pretty soon too, because usually when we see companies take a stance towards just becoming absolute greed monsters, the quality of their products degrades as well. And I'm expecting that to happen with Capcom here now also. Unfortunately, sucks to say it, but probably so. Palworld Dev explains Steam and Xbox differences, missing features. We're really at the mercy of the certification here. Let's stick with this. We'll stick with this. These will be our video gaming news articles for the day. And then we will move on and play Palworld for the rest of the day. Yay. Awesome. Games done quick. 2024 finishes with over 2.51 million raised. That'll probably be US dollars. The actual final run of the event, Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster, as run by Zik3, was no slouch as well when it came to helping raise money. So here are the bullet points for this. Awesome. Games done quick. 2024 raised an impressive $2.515 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Fantastic. Love to hear it, dude. Love GDQ. With Baldur's Gate 3 contributing a significant chunk. Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster also helped raise money, offering a fight against Omega as a milestone incentive. The event was a smooth and impressive showcase of lightning-fast reflexes and out-of-bounds techniques, making it one of the best Games Done Quick events yet. So I won't read this whole thing. If you guys are interested, I'll let you take a look. Oh yeah, dude, we had the Doge Peanut Butter. Peanut Butter played Gyromite. I forgot about that, dude. I haven't seen this yet. That would be a cool thing to watch. That's pretty nuts, dude. GDQ is always good. It's always good. I've promoted it forever, ever. It's a channel that we promote here quite often. It's actually a channel that is promoted for this channel whenever our channel here is not live. It's one of the few channels that is promoted for people to just go take a look at. It's a great community and organization centered around us as video game enthusiasts. Obviously, it is centered around speedrunning, but even if you're not a speedrunner yourself, like myself, I am not a speedrunner. I am like almost exactly the opposite. I'm a very methodical, very slow game player. I like to immerse myself in everything I do. I like to just take my time, enjoy every piece of whatever I'm playing. So I'm about the opposite of what a speedrunner would ever be. But it is really, really cool seeing people that dedicate themselves to speedrunning games. And that's what these events are always about. They take a whole slew. It's a 7-day event every single time. It's like, what, 3 times a year now, I think, that they do these major week-long events that 3 or 4 anyways. What we got, the one that's like that just happened right now. There'll be a summer one as well. There'll be the Femme Fatales. There's a few different ones, or 3 or 4 different ones they'll run every year, and they're a week long. They're 24 hours a day. There's always a schedule on their site that you can see for what games are being run when, who's going to be running the game, who's going to be announcing what's happening for the run, all that kind of stuff. And it's all about generating charity, money for charities, whether it be Doctors Without Borders or what was this one? This was the Prevent Cancer Foundation. It's always for good causes, and it's just a good time. It's a lot of people hanging out together. They're finally doing these in person again. So anytime these events happen, you can actually get tickets and go attend in person and just hang out with a bunch of other gamers, watch these runs happen in person. They were shut down for roughly 2 to 3 years because of the pandemic. But, do they not have they've got a YouTube page also, right? It's not just Reddit stuff, right? I've seen you post a lot of the Reddit links, but I'm sure you can get all their VODs off of their Twitch page. You can get the VODs off their YouTube page. I know they've got the Reddit pages with this, a lot of that shit. Yeah, that probably redirects, honestly. Probably redirects. I would say check their VODs out on their YouTube page. They probably are able to follow them on their Twitch channel, subscribe on their YouTube channel, watch their VODs on the YouTube channel, because that's going to help them generate revenue to continue to put on these kinds of events and stuff like this. That's what I would promote people to do. So thanks, Ferret. I appreciate it. Yep. So you can go back and watch the event that just happened. You can go back and watch. They keep VODs of like everything they've done, just like we do here in this community. So you can go watch all the previous stuff. You can, you know, I think that this is an amazing organization that's doing great stuff for us as a gaming community and helping people around the world with just raising massive amounts of money for charity. So I promote this all the time, and I highly recommend people take a look at what GDQ is if you're not familiar, you know. The Black Prince preview getting medieval. Crown Wars Bow and Blade, excuse me, not Bow, Bow and Blade. Average folks aren't having a great time in Crown Wars. The Black Prince, English Prince Edward, has just rocked up and subjugated vast swaths of the French countryside. Banditry is widespread, and there are demon-worshipping cults operating in the shadows, taking place in a historically grounded yet playfully twisted version of 1300s France. Crown Wars The Black Prince is coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch and PC on March 7th. In this single-player strategy title, you'll head up one of 4 noble families responsible for bringing peace and order to a land beset by bandits, English invaders, and occult horrors. During a hands-on preview build of Crown Wars, I got to try Artifact Studios' upcoming historical outing for myself. While the game has some solid foundations, I felt that the strategy title still required polishing when it comes to presentation. Old-time battles. Oh, yo, thanks, dude. Yo, awesome. Nice, man. Nice. I figured the Reddit one probably redirected, but I wasn't sure where it was specifically giving them links to go watch the videos at. I just felt like YouTube is probably something that they at least are able to get a little bit of some monetization off of, more than likely, you know, if their channel's big enough, you know. So if we can help them out in that fashion to continue to generate a little bit of extra revenue to put on these events and generate revenue for charity, that's all I was really concerned about, you know what I mean? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Old time battles. Yo, can you not, please? Interesting. At first, Crown Wars The Black Prince seems to share a great deal with the likes of XCOM 2 and Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. You're responsible for a squad of do-gooders whom you send out on missions to rid the land of evil. You do this with turn-based battles that take place on a grid. On a given turn, you move and attack with members of your team. Then the enemy has a chance to respond, rinse, and repeat until you achieve the objective or die trying. What if we want to be evildoers trying to, you know, rid the land of goody-goodies? What about that, though? Artifact's upcoming tactical outing does more than simply ape the XCOM 2 formula, though. Subtle but welcome additions pepper the game's strategic landscape, making for mechanics that support the game's gritty historical setting. Melee opponents make attacks of opportunity, pushing you for leaving close quarters. This immediately means that you're forced to screen your ranged units, keeping things spicy and placing a welcome emphasis on party formation and positioning that goes beyond merely trying to keep your soldiers in cover. Weapon types drastically affect your character's fighting styles too. Halberds let you attack multiple targets, while longswords can reliably pierce armor, and axes can be used to reposition enemies. 13 different weapon types can also be mixed and matched across the game's 6 classes, offering ample opportunity to tweak your characters. Classes are also customizable with 2 separate skill lines, which you can pick from whenever you level up. Even with the limited options on offer in the preview, it was clear that Artifacts is serious about player agency when it comes to building your squad. Securing your domain. It's more than just a squad tactics game. As leader of a noble domain, you'll have to manage your noble estate while also responding to issues in your territory by dispatching groups of your soldiers. While I can't speak for how sophisticated these systems will turn out to be in the long run, I was impressed by how much they reinforce Crown War's novel premise. Like dark fantasy roguelite Darkest Dungeon, there are various facilities that your castle offers. There's a barracks for unit management, a research lab, and a chapel where your injured characters can recuperate, though essentially little more than a menu screen. The Gregorian chants that greeted me when I first visited my recovering soldiers helped ground me in the medieval mindset. Artifacts has done a fantastic job of preserving the unsavory religious zealotry of the time, making for an immersive experience. In an era centuries before mass transit, logistics became an issue too. Your squads have to march out to missions, forcing you to plan ahead as your map slowly becomes populated with more issues that require your attention. Planning these excursions adds another element of decision making, making for a delightful layer of additional complications. Your domain is upgradable too, allowing you to invest in different facilities as you develop your foothold and acquire more resources. Though the true test of these systems will require more than just a cursory preview, it all seems promising at these early stages. While the tactical battles are very much Crown War's centerpiece, there's plenty on offer here to appeal to fans of a broader strategy too. A Tarnished Blade. Unfortunately, the preview build suffered from several glaring issues, which shook my confidence in the title. First off is the voice acting. While most of the dialogue during battles is adequate, it's slightly on the bland side. The deliveries during the game's prologue were comically poor, bordering on the ludicrous. Though charming in a so bad it's good sort of way, it seems unlikely to me that this is a feeling Artifact was going for. Should the rest of the campaign have acting this dicey, it could spell trouble. On top of this, the build's key bindings were broken to a point where I had to play the entire game using only a mouse. Oh, Jesus. That feels terrible. While I should stress that the build I was using absolutely isn't the final product, it's concerning the developers dropped the ball on this essential element. While the game's animations are weighty and pleasing for the most part, there aren't very many of them. What starts as a pleasing execution animation to signify your victory over a bandit becomes a chore to watch on repeated viewings. The user interface can be clunky at times too. It's easy to end your turn having forgotten a unit or two, a problem that can be prevented with a simple warning. That said, the game's March 7th release is still a reasonable way away. That means there's still time for Artifacts to address these problems before the game's release. What's more, the Foundations of Crown Wars has plenty of promise. The variety of weapons and classes on offer is fertile ground for a rich harvest of compelling strategy and satisfying decision points. Despite its flaws, the refreshing premise of strong strategy elements mean I can't help but root for Crown Wars. All that remains now is to see if Artifacts can give the upcoming game the polish it needs ahead of its launch. Let's take a look at this. I don't think I've seen this. I don't think. Kill this music real quick. Oh, it's Nacon.
War, your great passion. How appropriate, for it makes you blind to our ascension. We were here well before your kings, before your religions. We will be here after your empires. We are domination. We are power beyond imagination. We are blood, death, multitude. We are the terror that whispers in the dark. We are the chaos in all things and the order within chaos.
You may be many things, but we have hope.
France, year 1356. Almost 20 years of God-sent calamities have afflicted the land. The Great Plague bereaved cities and countryside alike, while a ravenous war is waged between the royal families for the crown of the most powerful kingdom of Europe. Alas, an even more terrible scourge is on the move. Lurking in the shadows, a secret power advances, timeless evil, child of conspiracies, bred from despair and unholy sacrifices. rises. On the edge of the abyss stands a handful of men and women devoted to knowledge, the last bulwark of light against the darkness.
Alan Wake 3, yeah. You nailed it. From what I've seen and read here, I want to play War Tales before I play something like this. You know, War Tales is something I'd rather play before I play something like this. There you go. This is War Tales.
How's the wound?
Stop bleeding at least, but we're out of bandages.
Perfect. No bandages, no wine, and we're eating rats for the month.
What was it again? Easy contract, easy money, right?
This has multiplayer. So online multiplayer through Steam and everything. It's got the same, turn-based tactical kind of combat system. It looks really dope. I really want to play this. It's very well rated. Came out last year, like summertime, I think. Yeah. Oh, April. Came out in April, so a little bit before. It was like springtime last year. 91% positive, over almost 21,000 reviews at this point. It's supposed to be very good. RPG, open world, turn-based strategy, medieval. Again, it's got the multiplayer, online multiplayer aspect of it, where you're all controlling a character in the group and stuff. It looks very dope. This is what I would say. I would be more interested of these games that look kind of similar. I'd be more interested in playing something like this than the Crown Wars game, you know. But that's just me. Good to know it's there, though. Howl release date. One of 2023's most stylistic games that shadow dropped on Steam. Let's get this popping. Shadow dropped on Steam and the Switch in the year's penultimate month. Howl is finally arriving on current gen consoles. Here's everything you need to know about the details around Howl, including its release date, gameplay, story, and trailers. Let's see.
When the howl came, we were not prepared.
I remember this, dude.
It's written that there's one who defies the call. She seeks her lost brother. She's not made for fighting beasts. But she knows their ways. She reads the future. She plans ahead, walking the path of prophets before her.
All right. So, Howl has a release date of January 23rd. So that's tomorrow. Developed by Mipumi Games and was published by Astragon Entertainment. Turn-based strategy game revolving around unwitting beasts by predicting their movements, outmaneuvering, and defeating them using wit and tools instead of brawn. Allowing players to plot up to 6 moves in the future, allowing players to adapt their strategy depending on the beast they face at the moment. New tools and abilities can be gained along the way to help further the player evade and defeat the wolves that hound them. 60 different levels across 4 chapters, illustrated with living ink, a flowing art style that paints the story as you play. It is out on PC and on Steam, Switch, and there's a demo available to try as well. Cool. Live, die, repeat. I guess, dude. Yes. If you want to see more, there you go. PlayStation rumor reveals next 5 PS5 games coming to PC. What was the one you referenced? Edge of Tomorrow. Isn't that... that's the movie, right? Dude, I don't know if I really remember that. Wasn't that like a Tom Cruise movie? Is that a Tom Cruise movie? Yeah, I didn't watch it then. I don't watch Tom Cruise movies, dude. So that's why I don't really know what the movie's about. Or you know. Tom Cruise, there's something about Tom Cruise, dude, I don't really dig. Yeah, I don't really watch his movies. There's something about him, dude. Yeah. That's one of those things for me. Like, hey, if there's somebody that you know, I find out about that just doesn't seem like somebody in real life that I would like, I'm not about supporting their material either. So it doesn't, you know, that's just one of those things. That's just how I am, man. So I don't really, I haven't watched a lot of his movies for a very, very long time, but good to know that's like the premise of that movie. PlayStation rumor reveals, hold on. Next 5 PS5 games coming to PC. These aren't really hard to like narrow down, you know. Usually it's going to be a lot of the first party games that have come out over the recent history of PlayStation, and ones that they know will be more lucrative for them to release on PC as well, you know. Oh, it was on their tagline, live, die, repeat. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I wasn't paying enough attention, apparently. I need more coffee, dude. I'm struggling this morning. I'm flipping tired this morning, man. I need to perk up a little bit. A new, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. New rumor tied to PlayStation has revealed the next wave of 5 games that Sony will soon be bringing to PC platforms. I'm guessing, like, Ragnarok will be one before long. Over the past few years, Sony has made a much more concentrated effort to port many of its biggest exclusives for PS5 and PS4 to PC. In 2023 alone, we got The Last of Us Part 1, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Returnal all landing on PC throughout the year. I want to play Returnal, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't blame you at all. Yeah, I'm going to have to get some more coffee here in just a bit. Now, a new rumor has hit the internet and has potentially indicated what PlayStation fans might be able to look forward to next. Throughout this year, PlayStation is rumored to be porting 5 different games to PC that would include The Last of Us Part 2, God of War Ragnarok, Demon's Souls, Gran Turismo 7, and Ghost of Tsushima. Hold on, dude. Hold on. Oh, wow, dude. This is wild. Here. Let's do it like this. God of War Ragnarok. I don't need to stream Demon's Souls. I've played it. I own the original collector's edition on PS3. Get wrecked. All right. You know, that's another one that I had thought about playing too, but I probably won't get on the schedule though, would be like from last year, Returnal. Returnal seems like it's a pretty dope game. But God of War Ragnarok, man, and Ghost of Tsushima, both of those both of these are incredibly hype for me, dude. Both of those. So those need to be on the schedule. Finish Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. It's over here. It's on here. It's on here, dude. See, right there at the top of the list of other potential playthroughs. Tears of the Kingdom. It's over there, dude. I know it's there, but it's not on the schedule, man. I know, bro. I know it hurts people that I don't have a strong want to play that game right now. I know that hurts people. I don't know why. I know it's gonna be a banger. I'm just not feeling it, dude. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. We'll try to figure it out. I can't help it, dude. I just can't help it. Generally speaking, most of these additions to PlayStation's catalog on PC would make a lot of sense, especially given that titles such as God of War Ragnarok and The Last of Us Part 2 have already seen their predecessors land on the platform. Spider-Man 2 is another PS5 game that is also said to be in the pipeline for PC, but that wouldn't happen until next year, obviously. Yeah, it comes from 4chan. We hear a lot of rumors come out of 4chan. Nice, dude. Yeah. Yep. I know you are, dude. I know, but I know that, like, there's also a bit of, truth in some of the trolling like that, too. There's a bit of, the reason I get trolled on that front from time to time is because I know that game's good. I know that game's a banger, and I know that there are a lot of people that want to see me play it, too. So there's a reason why I get trolled about some of that kind of stuff from time to time. It's such a struggle for me, though, to try and, the schedule is incredibly, polluted with stuff that we all want to see be played. I want to play, and it's so hard to try and work it all in. I'll never get all this played, never, dude. And it's a difficult thing to address whenever I don't want to push myself through a title that doesn't feel good. Like, I just, that isn't feeling super appealing to me at the time or anything, So the fact that I'm not feeling a huge pull towards playing something like Tears of the Kingdom it makes me not want to put it on the schedule, because I'm afraid of just starting to play it like I did before and then being like, I'm not feeling it, because I've already done that, So I don't know. I know that it's a bit of a troll, and I get it, and it makes me feel bad a little bit. It does, but I can't help it. I really can't. I can't help it. It's just like this, dude. I doubt we're gonna get Stardew Valley played, even though I think this would be a great game for us to play together. I doubt I get Stardew Valley played. I'll be quite honest. I think that there are 3 months worth of time right here that, for me, would feel better to get a lot of other titles put in. True. A lot of other titles could fit in that space other than Stardew Valley. Titles that are coming out, titles that we haven't played yet, that I want to play. And, we could get a lot of other games played other than just one game there. And this is going to be a time frame where there's going to be a lot of releases for the year. So I'll tell you right now, I'm really skeptical about us getting Stardew played. Straight up. Good morning, True. How are you? So with all these games coming out that I have, especially the ones in orange, that I really, really want to get played, there's probably a good amount of those that are going to end up getting slotted into these Stardew Valley time frames here, as opposed to actually Stardew Valley. I'm good. I'm just tired. Tired this morning. I feel like I slept well, but dude, I woke up just tired this morning, But we'll see what happens. You guys know how it is. The schedule is always evolving and changing, and we just, we try to stay as agile with it as we can. So who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe we will get, Tears of the Kingdom played. Maybe we will get Stardew played. Maybe we won't get either played. I I do my best, dude. I do my best to get as many, games into the schedule as possible. I really do. So, in perfect world, man, we would get all these games played in a single year. The schedule would have nothing left. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get that. And I've heard it's really easy to pick up and put down. So here's my thought behind it, okay? Kind of like the same way, like if you look at the schedule, we're still finishing up Fallout New Vegas, right? We're still finishing up Fallout New Vegas. And Fallout New Vegas was kind of something we started playing around the same time frame last year. So the thought process is, for me, it might be okay to just go ahead and start playing Stardew around that time. It'll give us a game that we can play, a game that we can play together sometimes, even if other people want to jump in and play together. And it'll be a game that I can play in between other titles that are getting released for the schedule, right? And so I'm not totally, just saying that it won't get played. It's just potentially going to be one of those titles because, dude, the way it looks is that, it would be similar potentially to what happened last year, where we're going to have a ton of releases, right? We all know that July, August, September, June is the big, events of showcases and everything, right? The beginning of June, showcases for the year of gaming. So we're going to have a bunch of showcases, and then we're going to have a bunch of releases through July, August, and September, right? Tons of releases for the industry. And so there's the potential for us to just play Stardew in between all the other games that are going to release that we're going to play together, right, for the channel. But then it's Scaretober, and then it's Red Dead for the last 2 months of the year. Just like this year was with Fallout New Vegas and all the other new games we were playing. And then I didn't get back to Fallout New Vegas until like right now, because we did Scaretober, and then we did Baldur's Gate 3 and finishing up Alan Wake 2, Yeah, I get that. But is it So the trade-off being, is it better to play and forget maybe if we have a period of time where we don't get to play and just miss out on some of that, but still get the majority of the experience of the game? Or just to not play it at all, Ferret, right? Because that's the reality that we're probably dealing with here. Right, but he's just talking about not being able to remember exactly what was going on, what you were focusing on, what you were preparing for event-wise in the game and stuff like that, So that's what he's referring. It's not like the game progresses while you're off of it, but he's just referring to the fact of like picking up and putting down the game because there are special events that happen at certain times and things like that, right? I understand that about the game. I don't know about any of them. You can be my memory. And I don't want to spoil myself on any of that either, really. I don't necessarily want to be privy to that information. So we'll just see. I'm spitballing here, you know what I mean? So it will probably be very similar to what Fallout New Vegas has been for us throughout the majority of 2023. That's probably what Stardew will be for us this year. I would say plan on that more than likely, All right, let's see what this is. Replace it with Tears of the Kingdom. You'll be happy. I know. There are a couple of games I know that you would be very happy with me getting onto the schedule, dude. I understand that. I don't know. I'm sorry. Game-changing Cyber... dude, is this Cybever? Because I'm going to call them Cybeavers. I can't help it, dude. It's just too close. Cybeaver joins Unreal Engine to transform game development. Cybeaver AI. Yeah, known for its innovations in the gaming industry, today announced this exciting new partnership with the Unreal Engine marketplace. This collaboration introduces Cybeaver AI's high-quality 3D assets to a broad network of developers utilizing Unreal Engine, a leading game engine owned by Epic Games. The initiative represents a significant step for game developers, offering them access to a diverse range of assets that are compatible with the powerful capabilities of the Unreal Engine. These assets cover various aspects of game development, from character creation to environmental design. Cybeaver CEO Cecilia Shin, in her recent statement, emphasized the significance of this partnership, integrating our talents in the Unreal Engine marketplace is a major milestone for Cybeaver. We're excited to broaden our reach and bring our innovative 3D models to a larger community of game developers. Our presence on this platform underscores our commitment to enhancing the game development process and supporting the creative ambitions of developers globally. Oh, Cybeaver. The introduction of Cybeaver AI models to the Unreal Engine marketplace is a landmark event for gaming developers worldwide. It provides them with revolutionary tools that are set to redefine innovation and productivity in video game creation. Cybeaver AI also invites everyone to explore their offerings on the Unreal Engine marketplace. For more information, visit Cybeaver.ai. There you go. All right, we'll see what this ends up being in its totality moving forward, I'm sure. But there you go, if you want more. Yeah, I understand that, fair. That's what I was getting at before. I understand there's a lot of stuff that only happens on certain days and times. I get that. Yeah, I understand. Yep. So I think that's one of those things is as we get closer to playing Stardew Valley, we'll have a discussion about how much of that I should maybe be privy to in the first place and how much I don't want to actually know, you know? We need to kind of talk about that a little bit as a community for everybody that's already played the game and understand. And for everybody that is a big part of this community, you guys know how I approach my gameplay, you know? Oh, yeah, I know, dude. Yeah. I mean, me too, dude. I love playing games with everybody. You know that. So, we've had a bit of a discussion about this before on the front of the events, you know, that are dedicated to specific times in the game. And we've kind of talked about this notion previously, too, for what that would mean for how much of that information I would want to know or need to know about the game, you know? So... Well, yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, yeah, and, you know, obviously, for a game like this that does provide multiplayer that I haven't played that a lot of other people have played, there are specific people that I would be comfortable having in the game, like Ferret, like True, like Pinky, you know what I mean? The only thing I ask is, you know, obviously you guys know, you know, I'm comfortable with having those kinds of individuals in the game because I have played with you guys. I trust the notion that you guys aren't going to, you know, be exposing me to things that, you know, I haven't already figured out myself or whatever. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm not worried about that part of it necessarily, you know, at all. There are certain people that I've become very comfortable with and that notion of playing games with that already have experience, you know? So that's not a huge roadblock for me with a lot of our community members anyways. Valve made $1 billion from CS cases last year, data claims, which is Gamba, right? Can we agree that this is just Gamba? Valve made $1 billion in 2023 from CS Gamba. That's a lot of flipping money, dude. There's a meta market wrapped up in the Counter-Strike ecosystem that's worth billions of dollars, and it's entirely virtual. Isn't that a weird premise, though? You know? Right, fair. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. It's such a weird notion that there's so many people invested in this idea of just having real world money spent on digital things that don't actually hold any kind of real physical value, you know? It's a weird premise. NFT. Yeah, well, and look, man, that actually coincides with a lot of well, that's why I read it like that previously. I don't know if you listened to the way I read the article off, but when I read $1 billion, I did the whole pinky thing, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads. So the NFT thing, man, one of the things I've said about NFTs the whole time is that the problem with the way it's being integrated into our video games now is that it literally is just a scumfest. You know, it's just a scamaz. And the thing is, the NFT incorporation could be a very mutually beneficial thing for us as gamers and the corporations developing the games, right? Publishing them, developing them. We just don't have the back end. You know, the universes aren't meshed enough to make it, you know, to give us that kind of incorporation right now. If we had these universes, these gaming universes, where like no matter, you know, if all these companies had some way to link up to where, like, say, you know, with Rockstar, they've got GTA, and with, you know, Sony and maybe a game like Gran Turismo, you know, I can't remember who's the studio that actually develops that for them or whatever, but, you know, you got Gran Turismo, and, you know, and then you got maybe also throw in the mix a game like Cyberpunk from CDPR, right? And so you take this premise of an NFT and the blockchain. So you've got an NFT, you've got this badass car, and this car is actually can be an NFT item, right? So it's a digital asset that you own and is tied to you uniquely, blockchained, right? And this car is a very powerful item in game, and it's a very lucrative item and highly sought after item in the gaming communities as a whole. But not only is it something that you got out of a game like Gran Turismo and can be used in a game in Gran Turismo, but that NFT, right, that asset can also be used in your Cyberpunk game, right? And it can also be used in your Grand Theft Auto game, right? So these assets that you've obtained through some form or fashion, whether it be Gamba or actually, you know, some kind of maybe even a raffle, in-game raffle that you entered and won, or maybe even a competition in a game or something like that that you took place in and you won some of these highly valuable assets. When it's like an NFT, an asset that can be used across different universes, right? Then it becomes something that is also beneficial to us as a gamer, and not just these corporations trying to make us feel like they have value when they're really just nothing. They don't hold any substantial value to us, right? This is where I think it fleshes out to a period of you know, something having a substantial amount of value for us as game players, as well as for the companies as developers and publishers. Because anytime you have these NFTs and they're highly sought after, there's a lot of trading, there's a whole economy behind it, and whoever, you know, is the creator, like whichever, you know, there's going to be this whole premise behind, you know, any of the universes that NFT can be used in, and primarily the creator of the NFT, the company that created that NFT in the first place, is going to take a cut of any time that NFT is sold, right, between people or whatever. So there's this premise of, you know, items being valuable. And I mean, dude, I'm just using an example of a car. There could be a car, it could be weapons, you know, so a weapon that can be used in Grand Theft Auto, but can also be used in Call of Duty, or could also be used in any other game that uses, like, you know, a rifle or something like that. You know what I mean? There's this thing that could happen with what NFTs could be, and could be tied to us through the blockchain of how, you know, that unique identifier for us, and how they could be seen as a valuable asset to us that would prompt us to be more engaged in this world of what NFTs, the premise of NFTs, I guess, right? But we're not there, dude. We're not even close to that. We're not even close to that idea of what NFTs should be. I'll say should be, could be, and should be for us as, you know, video game players and as consumers, for it to be something that we should be adopting, you know what I mean, as to what these companies are trying to push it out as right now. So in the future, if it gets to that point where these universes are meshed enough and connected enough that we can have these items that can be, you know, transported and used in different games and different universes, it's going to be very nice for us. And they're going to be highly sought after items, right? In large part. The more unique, the more highly sought after, supply and demand, all that kind of stuff. There's going to be an entire, there could be a huge economy behind this. But we're just not there yet. It's the CS skins market, and it sees tens of thousands of dollars change hands every day, with players buying, selling, trading, and unlocking weapon skins, cosmetics, and cases. It was recently claimed in a data-driven report that 2023 alone, the skins market, led by case openings, made Valve, Counter-Strike's developer, almost $1 billion. It's effectively money for nothing. Valve sells keys to open these cases. It's gambling, and players pick up virtual goodies to equip, hold, upgrade, or sell forward. Historically, the skins market has been the home of some dramatically valuable transactions, with one-of-a-kind weapon skins selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've seen people open some of these and lose their minds. You know? CSGO CaseTracker.com claimed that more than 400 million cases were unboxed in 2023, with CS players spending a whopping $980 million on case keys, dude. God dang. That's a staggering sum and is indicative of the leading power of Counter-Strike, which after more than 10 years on the market remains one of the world's most popular and widely lucrative games. The report divulged more information, such as claim that case prices have increased by 178% through last year. In 2023, the Dreams and Nightmares case sat at the top of the table, earning Valve a whopping $126 million alone. In the granular breakdown, it was shown that the release of Counter-Strike 2 in September caused a massive boom in case openings. Dude, that's wild. Randomote time, nice. That is wild, dude. That is really crazy. The Gamba pool is real, dude. Yeah, the ecosystem for something like that doesn't currently exist. Like you said, they would need to build a common system between. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like meshed universes. It would all need to be connected. There'd need to be connectivity through the different, you know, companies that provide access to the games. It's a very far-fetched idea right now, right? I mean, it's not something we even have a remotely close system to be able to handle that kind of concept. Yeah, but that if NFTs are truly to be something embraced by us as gamers, I think that's where it has to go. I don't think that anybody should be buying into what the concept of an NFT is in the current state. And I think we're a long ways away from this notion of what I just promoted NFTs need to be. We're a long ways away from that. But I think that's where it has to be. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Appreciate you. That troll face on the lurk, dude. Nice. Nice. All right. Moving on, man. 5 video game trilogies in need of a remaster. Let's glance this real quick. What up, Soup? You're funny. Far Cry, Fable, Remastering old gaming trilogies can generate nostalgia and attract new fans before the release of a new entry in the franchise. Dormant franchises like Fable and Dragon Age could benefit from remastering the previous games to drum up interest for upcoming titles. Remastering the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy could capitalize on the continued popularity of the series. Yeah, could. There's always an issue in the industry of, there are so many amazing IPs that have just been left for far too long that could absolutely be great games to be remade, and be brought back to us. At the very least, remastered, if not remade, But then we deal with this issue that we talk about so often. I'm only going to hit the bullet points here. I'll let you guys read the rest of this. We talk about this all the time. It's a very prominent thing right now, right? You talk about what we've been dealing with in the industry right now of like The Last of Us Part 2 getting remastered, and it's not even 4 years old. That's disgusting. There's no need in that, right? There's so many other games from way back that need to be at least remastered, if not remade. But then on the other side of that coin, you've got Rockstar releasing a 13-year-old game in RDR1, right? I know, broken record. But dude, this is the issue. RDR1 getting ported and not touched at all. 13-year-old game, not remastered, not remade, nothing, and sold at a $50 price point. Flippin' disgusting, dude. Disgusting. And then, like I said, Naughty Dog remastering a game that's not even 4 years old yet because they just want to bait more money out of people. Also disgusting. So all these titles that absolutely deserve some love to be brought back in some form or fashion to prominence for people to access and, get a look at, at least remastered versions of, and we don't get it. Silent Hill 2 is getting a remake at least. Here's the other thing about remakes, though. Just because a game's getting remade doesn't mean it's going to be good. Hopefully, Silent Hill 2 will be good. But I'll tell you this. Silent Hill 2 is being done by Bloober Team, right? Bloober's redoing Silent Hill 2. And I played Layers of Fear this past October and was bored out of my mind. The game was not scary. So I think that what Bloober has going for them is that they already have the story, the narrative, everything is already set in place for them for what Silent Hill 2 is. So all they have to do is really create the assets for it, build, develop the game around a story and premise and narrative that's already in place. So for that, I think they're very lucky because, dude, Layers of Fear, I don't know how they got popular off that game. Layers of Fear is balls. I won't even go play Layers of Fear 2. It was so boring. So, I mean, the thing with remakes is this. Remakes are also a very delicate thing. You can do remakes very, very good, or you can do remakes very, very poorly. And this is the thing with remakes. You take a game that's 15 years old, 12 years old, whatever. You're trying to bring a game back into prominence. You're remaking it for modern gamers and modern hardware. So there's a tightrope that has to be walked between keeping these games to the core, remaking them, but maintaining the core of what made them so special in the first place, right? But there are definitely things that have to be looked at as we should probably change this from what it was originally, because that wasn't maybe the best way to develop the game back then. We were just kind of constrained at that point, and now we can adjust it. I'll give you an example. You take a game like Dead Space remake, right? Dead Space back in the day, Dead Space 1, if you played Dead Space and you went through an area and you killed all the enemies, they would never respawn, right? Dead Space, original Dead Space, if you went through that game and you killed enemies in an area, they would never respawn. Now with the new Dead Space, there are areas that you can fly through, which you wouldn't be able to fly through previously, that you probably should have been able to like use your boosters and kind of fly through a little bit. There's areas where if you go backtrack and go back through those areas enemies will respawn. The spawn points are not the same every time you go through. Those are the kinds of incorporations that apparently, and I haven't played the Dead Space remake yet, but apparently they held pretty true to the core of what Dead Space was always in the first place, which makes it very, very good and makes it, you know, especially for all those true fans of the IP and the series in the first place, but bringing it to modern gaming standards as well, right? So those are hard things to do. So just because a game's getting remade doesn't mean it's going to be good either. There's a lot of, you know, understanding about holding on to the core of what a game was and what made it so special in the first place, and also, you know, updating things to an extent and bringing things into a modern, you know, idea of what gaming currently is, right? So we got to be very careful on that. Yeah, just remake it and it'll be great. That's not necessarily the way it works, right? You played the remake? Oh, you didn't even play the old ones first? Oh no. Oh wow. The originals are bangers, dude. Yeah. Callisto was garbage. That's what I heard. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, didn't even care to play Callisto because after it came out, I saw how bad people were saying it was. I didn't care to play it. I haven't played the remake yet, but I've played all three of the. So Scaretober of 2022, we played all three Dead Space games. And I played all of them on the hardest difficulty. It was a lot of fun. They were great games. Really, really good. Okay. As with yesterday, the final stuff we have to cover is Pal World information. So we've got like 3 articles here of Pal World being covered. This game is going absolutely bonkers. Even with the server issues and stuff, there's a lot of Pal World stuff going on. True, did you get to play with Pinky last night? I wasn't able to hop back on last night. Did you get to play with Pinky at all? Dude, I know, it's so good. It's so good. Did you get on our server? You didn't? Why?
Unacceptable!
Well, we were trying to tell you, so you can't find it. You have to actually put in the dedicated IP to get in there and stuff. Yeah. That's what Pinky figured out yesterday. We were trying to tell you yesterday, but you weren't paying attention to us in chat, you know? And so we were trying to tell you how to get into our server and everything, but you were just ignoring us, you know, the rest of the time that I was live. And so I even gave Pinky... I even gave Pinky the guild master so that he could add you to the guild whenever you came to play, but we'll see if we can get you in there today. So basically, yeah, play it cool, tough girl. Yeah, whatever. No, I know. I was just playing. I know you weren't ignoring. I'm just playing. I'm just razzing you, trying to make you feel bad a little bit. So what Pinky found out on their Discord server was that if you know what dedicated server you're on, then there's an IP address you can use to directly connect to the server that you're in, and you can still connect that way. So that's how we got in right towards the end of my stream yesterday. And that's probably how we'll have to get in today if we're no, don't. I'm just messing with you. Don't feel bad. I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry. So if you want to play with us, then you can be part of our guild, and we've already got a bunch of stuff going and stuff, but it's totally up to you. I know if you've already got another playthrough going and you don't want to give up on it or whatever, I get it. But you know, we'll get you in there today, so don't even worry. But this game is a lot of fun. There are a few things floating around the industry about whether or not they might have been using some AI stuff in this. We're still waiting to find out. When pigs fly, Soup. You know, we talked about that. But let's see what else we got. So as of yesterday, in under 2 days, so it was like 40 hours of the game being released in early access, it had already sold 3 million copies. And we'll just start this out. with, you know, I didn't get to play much yesterday, but we played like 2 days. One day was on me hosting a small session for just Pinky and I. Then the next day was Pinky and I getting into an actual dedicated server from the company, one of the public servers, and that's where we're going to be playing out today too, right? So we'll probably get True in there, be part of the guild. We're having a lot of fun with it, dude, and we have been waiting for this game. I mean, ever since I saw the first trailer of this game roughly, you know, a year and a half ago, we'd been following this and been psyched about it, and it has not disappointed. And it is actually blowing up. It's done even more than I expected it to do, you know. But Palworld has now sold over 5 million copies in just 3 days. So it's really incredible. The records continue to rack up for Palworld. After it was revealed earlier today, the game has sold 5 million copies in just 3 days. The 5 million units in 3 days number puts it in line with some of the fastest selling games in the last 2 years, including PlayStation 5 exclusive Marvel Spider-Man 2, which we covered that yesterday. Yesterday, Palworld became the second highest played game, paid Steam game ever, accumulating a player base peak of 1,291,967 players. At the time of writing, on a Monday morning at GMT, the game still has over 1 million concurrent players. I actually have this up. You can see, we'll refresh this. The current, as of 2 minutes ago, Palworld has 1,560,000 players. So well over what was actually concurrent peak players when this article was written, right? So as for where the game player count will go remains to be seen. We're kind of seeing it already, but at the moment it seems like there's no slowing down. Its success has seen several server outages over the past couple of days due to high player numbers, but the developers have ensured they're actively working on the problems. You can buy Palworld now on the PC and Xbox Series X and S. You can get it through Game Pass or Steam. Okay, here are your requirements for the game, recommended requirements, all that stuff. I'll link that, and then we'll move on to the next one. Palworld developer warns of game-breaking bug to avoid. There have been some issues. Pinky was telling me he heard of one yesterday that was about what was it? If you're part of a guild and you leave the guild, like while other members of the guild are logged off, then it'll corrupt your game or something like that. I don't know. There's some weird stuff going on. The bug can permanently weaken players. What? Players have been told not to use an item in Palworld by developer PocketPair as it causes an impossible to recover from bug. The warning was issued in the Palworld Discord, with PC Games in reporting on what PocketPair community manager Kai posted regarding the bug. Currently using the item Memory Reset Drug that resets the player's status may reduce the player's capture power and make it impossible to recover. So do not use the Memory Reset Drug. We are currently investigating this issue, so we apologize for the inconvenience, but please refrain from using it till the investigation correction is complete, the community manager posted. Palworld launched 3 days ago in early access, so issues are to be expected. Yes. There's no window for the ending of the early access period, meaning that bugs could crop up and require fixes for a while. Game has seen a huge amount of popularity already, with over 5 million copies sold, like we just talked about, and a concurrent player count higher than Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, Hogwarts Legacy, Baldur's Gate 3, and Terraria. Despite heavy comparisons to Pokemon, PocketPair wasn't actually only inspired by the Nintendo franchise. PocketPair is the developer behind Palworld, right? NME spoke to CEO Takuro Mizobi and developer Hawkward in 2021, who spoke about the inspirations behind the game. We were surprised by the comparisons, to be honest, especially those labeling it as Pokemon with guns. Pokemon definitely inspired us, but Palworld is far more action-oriented in comparisons. Our favorite games inspired Palworld, one of which is Ark Survival Evolved. We're still fleshing everything out and deciding exactly how it will work, but if we had to compare it to anything right now, it would definitely be Ark. It's impossible not to compare this to Pokemon. Yes, everybody has basically been saying that this game is Pokemon Ark, right? The beasts in the game, the pals as they're referred to, are very Pokemon-esque, but the gameplay elements are heavily heavily inspired by Ark from what I understand. So there's that. Now, Palworld devs explain Steam and Xbox differences, missing features. We're really at the mercy of the certification here. Here's why some important features are missing from Palworld on Xbox and Game Pass. Okay, so what you need to know, here are our bullet points. Palworld dev Pocket Pair has explained why the Xbox and Microsoft Store version of the game is missing features the Steam one has. Its community manager, Bucky, says the studio is currently trying to get a patch through Microsoft's certification process, and that some of these things will take extra time. Though Pocket Pair is desperately trying to speed this up, this process has to be completed before updates can go live. The developer also explained that Steam and Xbox version numbers may always be different due to the different underlying architectures, so players shouldn't consider them evidence that one platform is behind another. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, on Steam applied 2 days ago. On Xbox, sitting in the MS certification queue. Bucky wrote in a reply to a fan asking about when a hotfix would be pushed live. Then in another response to a post about future parity, some of these things will take extra time. We're really at the mercy of the certification here. We're desperately trying to speed this up. Issues like the missing exit game button, etc. are not a result of an older build. These are separate issues. In fact, Steam and Xbox will likely never have identical version numbers until the games are brought to be cross-play compatible, because at that point, they will be the same game internally. They explained in a longer statement. Again, that doesn't mean Xbox is necessarily behind or anything. They're just different fundamentally versions of the game because of the architecture on Xbox is different. Yeah. So while Pocket Pair aims to get the Xbox and Microsoft Store edition of Palworld in line with the Steam edition as soon as possible, it's taking some extra time to do because the developer has to go through Microsoft's update certification process. Yeah, there have been, here are the main differences that have been noted so far between what Steam has and potentially the Xbox versions don't. Considerably faster crafting, 3 arrows craft, currently you get 1. 3 arrows per craft, which you get on Steam, and currently you get 1 on Xbox. Using technology points to unlock statues of power, currently you need ancient technology points for Xbox. The ability to name your character, the ability to rename pals, sound effects that are missing from the Xbox Microsoft Store version, higher quality audio, and exit button to close the game. Microsoft could potentially step in to help. We'll see. We'll see. But there are some differences. And look, it's early access, dude. People have to... What's up, brother? Yeah, I was already giving True a hard time. Yeah. True hates you. Yeah. That's what I was like, dude, did you go play with Pinky yesterday? And she was like, no. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, man, we were trying to get you in there, you know? And she was like, oh, well, I don't really like you guys anymore, so I just figured I would play on my own. And I was like, well, that's kind of rude. But if you'll reconsider, we'll probably get you in there today. So, and we'll see how it goes. So, a lot more Palworld news here. And as expected, you know, this game is just popping off, dude. It's blowing up, and we will continue to cover this, obviously, as it's a game we're playing right now as well. And I'm having a great time with it. They do need to polish up some of the server stuff, obviously, and I think they're working on it. You know, we'll continue to push and see how it goes. And I don't know. That's basically, you know, we already looked at this, but if you haven't seen, these are the, as of 5 minutes ago, the player count playing on just Steam alone was over 1.5 million players concurrently, you know. It's kind of wild. And it's sold over 5 million copies now. It's pretty nuts, dude. So, game is going crazy, dude. Going crazy. I was like, dude, we were talking to, we were like, True, where are you? True, come play with us, True, where are you? And she just ignored us all day yesterday, You guys rock, dude. Happy flipping Monday. I hope we're going to go ahead and get ready to play some Pal World, man. We'll let True, we'll get True in here, and everything will be okay. Everything will be all right. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope the start to your week has gone well, and we're gonna go have some fun today, catching some more pals, and I'm sure Pinky's been playing, dude. I didn't even get to get in there last night at all, so I just spent time with the family and stuff. My wife and son had been gone all weekend, so they got back, and I just I kind of hung out with them. So, but we'll see. Pinky's probably gonna have a bunch of stuff to show off. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Sorry. Yeah. It was just one of those things, man. I hadn't gotten to see the wife and son all weekend, and they got back, and I just decided to spend time with them, man. So sorry. But we'll get a lot in there today. I'm sure you've got a lot to show off and everything. So we'll have some fun. We'll get True in there, and we'll keep pushing and see where we can get to today. We'll be riding Pinky's shoulders, I'm sure, because Pinky's gotten quite a bit ahead of us. But you guys rock, man. I appreciate you. Well, thanks for the amazing news segment. We'll go play some games. If anybody's been hanging out, you're not familiar with what we do, this is our jam, man. This is how we always start off all of our streams, 6 days a week. Every day but Wednesday, we begin with video gaming news, and we then move on and play games for the rest of the day. So like we're about to do. We try to promote a healthier industry for us as gaming enthusiasts and consumers, and try to highlight the great industries that are doing good things, and also highlight the bad industries, or the bad companies in the industry that are maybe ones that should be stayed away from, a bit more reluctant to buy into and support, and things like that. And just talk a lot about these current events and topics that are going on in video games, so we can always stay up to date with what's happening in the video gaming industry, So after that, we play games and just have a good time together. And we've got an amazing community of people here that are always engaged in what we do, trying to cultivate and promote a nice, chill, fun place for all of us to be all the time, be void of toxicity and negativity, and promote a culture of civility where we can discuss differences in an adult manner, and just get along and support one another, have a nice place for all of us to hang out, be welcoming and inclusive, and things like that. So if you can dig it and you're enjoying the content, come be a part of it when we're live. We're always looking for more people to be a part of our amazing community here. So if you're enjoying this, whether you're seeing it live now or as a VOD later, just know that we've got most of our previous content anyways, whether it be video gaming news segments, gameplay playthroughs, funny clips and highlights, on the YouTube channel and the Twitch channel and playlist, so you can go check that stuff out while we're not live as well. But other than that, man, happy Monday. Stay healthy, stay safe, be kind. Stream's not going down. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to run us an outro real quick so that we can kind of sum up this news segment. And as soon as it's over, we're going to get started with playing games. Cool? You guys rock. Be right back.